Welcome to GGKCS, the multi-generational podcast / FlossTube for fans of all things knitting, cross-stitch, and geeky. I'm Cece, and I'm glad to have you today. Have you here today. Today is Sunday, the 13th of September, 2020, and this is Stitch With Me, episode 22. A big welcome back to all returning viewers. Big love, and a big hi to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. Hope you enjoy the show. So what I am going to be stitching on today, as normal, is Baba Black Sheep by the Prairie Schooler. The pattern was a gift from Michelle Bindi Stitchy, and I am stitching it on 18 count Ada dyed pink by Erin, the 2 Martini Stitcher. And of course I've changed the colors of the floss because the original colors wouldn't work with this fabric. I realized I put my mouse over the pattern. Okay, let me start stitching here. I'm almost done, as you can see, with the W bag. So I pulled a strand of the next color to be ready for that. So, okay, so Dammy went back to university yesterday. For anybody new, Dammy is my almost 21-year-old adult child, and they attend university. Okay, so it goes all the way to the end. Okay, they attend university at Seattle Pacific University in Seattle, Washington, which is like an hour ferry ride away from us here on the Kitsap Peninsula, and then a little bit of a drive, but not much, maybe depending on traffic. I don't know, 15, 20 minutes maybe. So I was not able to go to take them to school because they were limiting it to 1 person helping per student, and they had like staggered the times of when you could come and all of that. Dammy's not living in a dorm this year. They are sharing an on-campus apartment with 3 other theater students. So it's a little bit of an adjustment because Dammy is not returning to school as they left it in March when the pandemic hit and they moved everybody to online learning. So it is a big adjustment to be going back to something that's not the same. And I know that there are other students that are having to struggle or struggling to adjust to that. I'm in the parents group on Facebook for Seattle Pacific University, and there's some struggling happening as students are, some of them are living on campus, some are not. Dammy's classes actually ended up all online. That was not what we were originally told they were going to be, but that's what it's ended up. And Dammy has 2 campus jobs. One of them will be primarily remotely. The other one, they're waiting to figure that out because it's in the theater, because that's what Dammy's studying. And they can't do productions right now. And so I don't know exactly what they're going to be doing. I'm looking forward to getting a virtual tour of Dammy's new apartment after they get all set up and organized. It's a furnished apartment, but just to get unpacked and organized and all of that. So missing them already, and I know they're missing home as well. So sending lots of love to students that are struggling like this or have made the decision to stay home and do their classes virtually. There's just so much still up in the air. And for me, this is like empty nest number 2 because, this is Dammy's junior year. And so we had expected only to have Dammy home for the summer break. Which is different than, coming home for a vacation is different than coming home to live. And that's what happened. And with the world shut down as much as it was, Dammy didn't work much during their summer break as they normally would, and ended up doing 2 online classes. Okay, I'm looking at the pattern again. Okay, one less over there. Okay. Ended up doing 2 online classes to get their science requirements out of the way. And so, yeah, they had a productive summer, but not the summer that they had planned. So, but I know that things will, get into place, and, classes start tomorrow for Dammy, and I know that once a routine kind of gets into place, that things will be easier, and being able to be back with friends, and even though other than their roommates, they'll have to be social distance and all of that, but I'm grateful that they're gonna be able to be with other students that they know, and those friendships and relationships. So, yeah. And we announced on the podcast the last couple of weeks, I don't remember if I talked about this last Sunday when I recorded or not. But Dammy is only going to be on the regular full-length podcast episodes every other week. And we will be recording those virtually for the time being, because I'm not comfortable walking onto the ferry to go try to find a place to record with Dammy. I've driven on the ferry, but I stayed in my car, and so, but that's not cost effective to do that on a regular basis. So we are crossing our fingers that internet will cooperate and that we can record those videos every other week. I'll still be coming to you on the off weeks when Dammy's not with me to do an abbreviated form of the podcast, and then of course these Stitch with me's will continue recording them on Sundays and then releasing them on Mondays, because I start school a week from tomorrow to do my first of 3 prerequisites for before I can apply for the ASL, American Sign Language Interpreter Program. So that's that. What else is going on up here? Smoke. We are not being directly affected by fires in our physical location, but we are being affected by the smoke and the ash. We all have the, what's the name of the Air app that we put on our phones? Air Matters. We were using the website, I think it was called like Air Now, but Dammy found this app, Air Matters. It's a free app that we downloaded on our iPhones. I'm not sure if they have apps for the Android or not, but just been keeping an eye on the air. When I checked a while ago, both us over here on the peninsula as well as Dammy in Seattle were above 200, which I know there are places where it's even worse and where it's in the 400s and such. We are doing everything we can to just stay inside, and it's kind of frustrating because it gets so stuffy in here because we don't have central air. That's not the norm up here. So it's really, really stuffy inside. The temperature is nice outside, but we can't open the windows because of the air quality. I have asthma issues and have been using my inhalers like crazy, and diffusing Breathe essential oil to try to help, but it's not good. So apparently there's a good chance of rain in the next, like, I think 20 to 30 hours, and the wind is supposedly supposed to be shifting. Hopefully, I think it's sometime tonight, and hopefully that will get some of the smoke out of the way. But our hearts are going out to those of you who are being physically affected by the fires. I know there's some people within the cross-stitch and knitting community who have had to evacuate and or are in that stage of readiness to evacuate if needed. And so our hearts go out to you to be safe, and we hope that you will you and your loved ones. I mean, that's the most important part, that it's safe. But just the thought of losing your possessions and such, and having to start over, it's just so scary. So, our hearts are with you, and we're sending love and prayers, and that things will settle down, and that everybody will be safe. So, and then, of course, the craziness of this happening during the pandemic, that just adds one more layer to things. So, I'm sticking my arm this way because my water is all the way over here. All right. Well, we're going to continue with hashtag CC Stitch With Me prompts. So last week I started doing this and that questions from Career Contessa, and I only made it through half the list because apparently I like to ramble and not just be like, I choose this. No, I have to give you backstory and all that jazz. So if you missed the first half, head back and watch that from from last week. And I'm going to answer the other half of the questions. So, maybe they're not. Okay, there we go. All right, first question of the second half: beach or mountain? I choose both, which is the thing up here. Where we're from in Texas, you had to choose beach or mountain. But up here, you can choose beach and mountain. So, yeah, I love the beauty of the mountains. Sometimes it can be hard with asthma to be in the mountains, but the beauty of the mountains, and then just the beach and the water, the sound of the water, and it's just so peaceful and beautiful. And so I choose both, which it's my episode, so I can do that. So, okay, cook a meal or clean up after a meal. If I'm forced to choose, I will choose clean up after a meal. I do not enjoy cooking at all. And Dammy and Russ actually, pretty much took that over when I was so very sick and I couldn't even stand at the kitchen counter or the stove or whatever long enough to cook a meal, just because of the physical distress my body was in because of the fibromyalgia. Now I could, but I don't like to. So if I have to cook, it's either crock pot or something casserole, chicken and rice casserole or an enchilada casserole. That's what I cook if I have to cook. So I'm much more of let's have, fruit and veggies and cheese and crackers or chips and guacamole or, something like that. I'm let's go for the easy stuff that doesn't take a lot of prep. So, but if forced to choose, I will clean up after the meal. Okay. Hamburgers or hot dogs? Hamburgers. Although I don't eat them very often. If I do eat them, I prefer to eat them made with ground turkey instead of beef. Red meat is just something that's a little harder for me to digest. I don't have a gallbladder anymore. And so I'll have red meat every once in a blue moon, but I'm much more likely to eat turkey or chicken. If I'm eating meat, that's what I'm usually eating is turkey or chicken. So for a long time, well, not a long time, but for a few, probably 2 2 years or so, I was a vegetarian just because my system could not digest the meat. And then I started taking essential enzymes, and so now I can digest some, but red meat is hard. We had, before Dammy left, we had steak and baked potatoes, and while it was delicious, the next day my body was like, what did you do? So, yeah, I just have to be aware that red meat is probably not going to be a good idea for me in larger quantities. So, okay, Friends or Seinfeld? Friends, 100%. Honestly, I have not seen that many episodes of Seinfeld. But I've seen all the episodes of Friends, sometimes multiple times. I'm not as big a fan as like Erin Two Martini Stitcher. She's doing a whole Friends cross stitch, and she had on was it her last week's video, a T-shirt that was a Friends Frozen crossover, I think. Yeah. Oh, T-shirts, by the way, for Lady Robbins. She always is like, I hate when I can only see top of your shirt, and then I'm wondering the entire episode what your shirt is. This one is Grazing Hills Fiber Arts Festival. Sheep and alpaca and bunnies and all that. I taught a class at the festival and vended with my work. I worked for a fiber mill doing administrative stuff. I'm the administrative assistant, so doing administrative stuff and social media and scheduling, just all that stuff. So, yeah. Okay. I thought this one-stranded thread was going to be enough to finish the top of this bag, but it's not going to. It is not going to be now, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this because one strand is, for some reason, it's way longer than the other. You know how annoying that is to me. Okay, and I will have to get another strand out when I finish this one. Okay, let's see, where am I? Okay. So yeah, so Friends would be my my choice between that and Seinfeld. I know I've heard people say, I haven't watched an episode of Friends in ages. We don't have a regular TV, so I would have to like purposefully watch and not just be like flipping through channels. I've heard some people say that some of the stuff has not aged well. Which I think that's the same for pretty much any TV show. I mean, Dammy was talking about that, about us rewatching Firefly on the podcast a week or two ago. So, yeah. Okay, next up, Steve Urkel or Kimmy Gibbler. Do you know? Do you remember this? Because like, Dammy's not old enough. Like, we had to purposely show Dammy who these two are. So if you don't know, Steve Urkel is from, they're both from, was it ABC? I think that's what it was, ABC channel. I had on Friday nights, TGIF, Thank God It's Friday, or Thank Goodness It's Friday, and had this lineup of sitcoms. And Steve Urkel was from Family Matters, and Kimmy Gibbler was from Full House. I watched both, but I was more a fan of Full House than of Family Matters, if I had to pick one over the two. But character-wise, probably Steve Urkel, because he wasn't purposely trying to be annoying or whatever, but Kimmy Gibbler, like, it was pretty much purposeful, from what I remember. It's been years since I've watched. So, yeah. Okay. Chocolate or vanilla? It depends. I love chocolate, but I'm not a huge fan of, like, just, like, pure chocolate, like ice cream. If I had to choose cake, I would choose vanilla over chocolate. But I like chocolate, like candy, and I like chocolate stuff in my ice cream. But if I had to choose, I would choose vanilla over chocolate. So it depends on the circumstance. It depends on what it is that I'm having. Okay, so now I need to go over here. Right? Yes, so we're doing the top little part of the bag here. Ooh, don't come unthreaded. Curses, I was really hoping I wouldn't have to use another strand of floss, but I'm going to have to. And chocolate, dark chocolate is my favorite. I love dark chocolate. And it's good for you, supposedly. So, or is that just an excuse that somebody made up? Who knows? Okay, water or milk? Water all the way. The only time I have milk is in cereal or when it's not this time of year when pumpkin creamer is available, I use unsweetened vanilla almond milk in my coffee. But otherwise, water. I drink a lot of water. I drink, on a normal day, I drink somewhere between 144 and 180 ounces of water. So that's 8 to 10 of these a day. And I don't know, my body is weird. I crave water. So, yeah. So water for me, I take water with me everywhere, and yeah. I'm glad it's a thing now that it's not weird to carry a water bottle with you. Like, growing up, it was weird. People thought it was weird for you to have a water bottle, have water with you different places. So I'm glad that that is not a weird thing anymore, because I do take water with me almost everywhere. Unless we're going like to a restaurant where I know I'm going to have water available. So, which, how long has it been since that's happened? 57 years, it feels like. It's like 2020 feels like it's lasting so freaking long. And in other ways, it's like, holy crap, it's already September. What is going on, you guys? I'm having issues here. There we go. You got caught on something. It got caught, but I fixed it. Okay. All right. So, water over milk. Breakfast or dinner? Breakfast. And we have breakfast or dinner sometimes. We like to have breakfast burritos with like a turkey sausage in it. We like to have occasionally biscuits and gravy and sausage or bacon. The diner that Dammy works at, when there's not a pandemic going on, when they're home, it's this cute little diner called Hilo's, Hi-Lo apostrophe S. Heidi and Lowell are the owners, and so they combine their names, Hi-Lo. They have this thing called moon biscuits, and they take biscuit batter and make it in a waffle iron, and have sausage gravy with it. And it's called moon biscuits because it's like the craters of the moon that the gravy goes into. And it is so good. and it's been forever since I had it because I was like, oh yeah, when Dammy comes home for the summer, we'll go sometime when they're working, and da 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 da. Well, life destined that not to happen. So they're so good. Moon biscuits and gravy. But yeah, I love breakfast food, pancakes, waffles, biscuits, breakfast burritos. I'm a fan of breakfast. Comedy or drama? Drama. I am not a huge comedy person. It has to be, especially if it's like slapstick comedy or physical humor. That is not something I really enjoy at all. There's got to be some kind of plot line to the comedy. So I'm trying to think of comedy that I have enjoyed in recent time is, well, of course, SCHITT''S, Creek. Sometimes people watch with their little ones, and so we try to be careful of that. We watched The Good Place recently, and that was really good. We're rewatching Psych right now, which is a comedy. That tends to be the comedy I like. So drama is much more my thing. I like a good storyline. Yeah. So drama. If it is a comedy, it has to be pretty special for me to get into it. We tried to get into like The Office. No, tried to get into 30 Rock, I think is what it was called. No, that didn't work. Tried to get into Parks and Recreation. Nope, that didn't work. Yeah. And then like we sometimes like a little bit older comedies. Like we just rewatched all of Frasier. We love Frasier. There was another one that we can't think what it was. Frasier. We really enjoyed Frasier again, and this time it was so much fun because since we live up here now, we like knew where some of the places they were talking about were. Okay, hot or cold? Cold. Well, preferably in the middle of that, but if I have to pick, cold. The heat and humidity together really triggers my fibromyalgia, and so cooler weather is better. Now, not like super cold with the like harsh winds. That's not good for me either, but cooler weather is definitely better for me than warmer weather. So if it could be in like the mid to upper 60s year round, I would be content with that all the way. Halloween or 4th of July? Halloween. I'm more of an autumn person, but since I started cross stitching again, there are so many cute Halloween things that I have gotten some of the patterns of and would like to work on. I'm not at all a 4th of July patriotic person at all. If I were to ever stitch something like that, it would be probably a gift for somebody who is, not that it would be something for me. So, yeah. Definitely Halloween over those two. All right, I have finished the bag. I really wanted to get started on the next color, but I'm at the end of the this or that questions, and we're at the 30-minute mark. So I guess it'll be next week when I start. So here's the pattern. So I have finished those bags of wool, other than filling in the letters. So I was going to start on this line right here and then do the letters because those are the same colors. and then go up here and start working on the sheep, because I'll wait and do the ties and the words because they're all single strand. But do the sheep and then fill in. So here's the colors that I'm using. So I've been doing that for the wool. This will be for the sheep. Classic Colorworks Black Coffee. And then this gray will be to fill in on the sheep. So, well, I finished my questions at least, and I finished the bags of wool, other than filling in their letters and the ties. So I made progress. So, well, it was fun to be with y'all today, and that is the end of that set of this or that questions. Trying to remember when the first day of autumn is. I think it is next week. So I think next week when I record, I'm going to do a autumn this or that I'm going to put together. So I'm looking forward to that because autumn has my heart. I adore autumn. Well, as you can see, I've already got my pumpkins out. I already have my fall decor out, my autumn decor out. I love autumn. If I could live in autumn year-round, I would. So. All right. Well, thank you so much for being with me today. You can find us online at GGKCS.com. There you'll find links to everywhere else we are online. Facebook groups. It's facebook.com/groups/GGKCS, and there's 3 questions that have to be answered, y'all, or we will not approve your membership. First question is, what's the cat's name? Pink, or Pink Pearl, P-U-R-L. Second question, who's the mama? Cece or Dammy? Cece, that's me. And then you need to read the questions, or not the questions, the rules for the group, and check that you agree. So you have to do those 3 things, or we're not going to let you in the group because we want to make sure we don't get any spammers or anything. So if you don't answer them within 24 hours, we'll decline your membership. You can apply again. That's fine. But yeah, please answer the questions. And that's where we do all of our like alongs and giveaways and the read along and all of that. So come on over and join us. So yeah, Facebook groups, Instagram. I'm at the new Instagram link. My new account is cc_JavaPearl, JAVAPURL. Pink Pearl's new account is at Pinky Pearl, PINKIEPURL. That's after the whole Instagram blocking incident. We have the new accounts. Regular Facebook, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, etc., etc., etc. That's all on the website, ggkcs.com. And we will be back, or I will be back with you on Friday. I'll record it on Thursday and release it on Friday for an abbreviated version of the episode of the podcast, and then back with you again next Monday for another Stitch With Me episode, and then Dammy will be back with me next week. Until then, please stay safe. Wear your masks. Stay inside if your air quality is bad. If you're having to evacuate, our hearts are with you. Wash your hands and keep crafting because it's what's keeping me sane right now. All right, until next time, happy crafting.